pay-per-click. Pay-per-click is of course, we offer pay-per-click just as much as we do SEO. Sometimes it may not work for budgetary reasons to do both. Additionally, pay-per-click also works differently depending on types of businesses and what types of services or products we may have. Well, let's talk about the biggest deal breakers. Pay-per-click mistakes. We see this time and time again. You guys got the same free $100 off coupon that I got this week from Google, and every single week to come, they just keep on pushing it more and more and more. When there's not weekly optimization made on your pay-per-click campaign, that means adjusting the pricing of your keywords, removing keywords that are not performing well, and not adjusting the ads as well. Your click price will go up about 4 times as high. And that's being modest. That's not an over-exaggeration. Your price per click will shoot through the roof if it is not optimized on a weekly basis because of a quality score that Google shows you in your pay-per-click account. Few ads. We see this most often. You know, it's really easy for anybody to set up and turn on 1 or 2 ads. Again, quality score takes a dump because you only have 1 or 2 ads. And as a result, that makes it really expensive to compete. No A/B ad testing. Setting ads up properly and being able to test the performance between 2 different ads will not only bring your cost down, it will really improve your click-through rate, more business. Few keywords, too broad. You know, hey, Google makes suggestions there. They say, add this keyword, add that keyword to your pay-per-click account. It's making those same exact suggestions for your other competitors. So it's not necessarily the best strategy. Once you choose, based on performance and click-through, you have to deactivate and activate certain keywords that are performing better. No geo-targeting. This should be a pretty obvious component of it, but if you have not geo-targeted your ads to only be served and show up in your local market or your target audience, if it be national, then you have wasted clicks. No negative keywords. You can exclude certain click-throughs or your ad from being served if it contains a certain word in there. Let's say, for example, such as free, and your product is not free, and so that would be a negative keyword. Poor quality score. You cannot get yourself out of the trenches sometimes if your quality score has become so poor. In other words, if your pay-per-click account has been turned on and populated with perhaps 1 or 2 ads and some keywords have been thrown in there, it's kind of been left there, and you know, hopefully it will give you some business, hopefully it won't. There's a quality score. If it's not, sometimes it's not enabled by default, but you can go enable it so it shows you the quality score. And if your quality score is very low, you may sort of have to reset the game, kind of start over, start off on the right foot. No landing pages. You need to send traffic to a very targeted landing page so that they actually convert. And budget too low. There's always a minimum amount of spend for pay-per-click. We see this time and time again. It's just math. Average good conversion for any pay-per-click, obviously, is going to be a lot different depending on the type of business. For example, whether you're selling online or not as well. But good conversion is 3 to 4% for pay-per-click. So if you think about that, let's do some math here. Let's say you're in real estate and your average click-through is going to cost you $10 or more, let's just say. Multiply that by X amount of click-throughs. A percentage of those click-throughs, they're all not going to convert. So just do the math. Let's say you put 1,000 into it. Not likely going to register. It's just pure math. So it's also exponential. Unfortunately, PPC, Google also rewards you a little bit more for more click-throughs, better performance, and more visibility. Did you know there are 2 PPC networks? So there are 2. And if you just turn on a pay-per-click account, you're only going to get one of them. And the other one's a whole lot cheaper. First one we see, it's the easiest to turn on. Anybody can turn on a pay-per-click account. And it'll serve ads at the top and on the right-hand side. Highly competitive. You really need to optimize well or you're really going to get into sort of a money game, a bidding war, if you're not really measuring the performance of your ads and keywords on a weekly basis. Then we have the content network. If you're well versed in setting up and optimizing your pay-per-click campaign, the content network is going to serve a graphic or a link from thematically related websites for your ad. And it's literally cents on the dollar. You can get thousands of millions of impressions by having your link or pictures show up on other relevant sites, such as blogs, forums, related websites, and so forth. And this is an example. This maybe be a herald. And so it's showing here, these are ads being served. So very broadly, how do we recommend really kicking off your search engine marketing strategy? First, we talked about this. Identify your needs, audit. Secondly, gather your social resources. We talked about how much weight everything carries. Social media, whether you really leverage that or not, carries a little weight because it links and associates back to your website for organic results, which is where most clicks take place, is in the organic listings. And so whether you're going to do that in-house or not. And lastly, your search engine marketing exposure. Maximizing your visibility. Once you have identified what resources you want to use and auditing the needs of your website, then we can kick off a complete SEO and SEM strategy. So this gentleman here is trying to rise to the top, get to the top. How do I get in? And he's told, I'm sorry, but we've changed the algorithm. Do you ever feel like this? So hopefully you don't. Hopefully you're working with a team that is really on top of any changes and really ahead of those changes. Lastly, let's talk about the inner workings of an SEO, SEM process. How visible should the work be if you really want to be able to sort of tangibly, quantifiably know how much work is taking place? Right? Can you audit it yourself? Can you know? The answer is you really should. Quantitatively, you should be able to know how much work is taking place on almost a weekly basis. So the first part of this is evaluate. We like to do our homework. As we put together afterwards, there are SEO evaluations we have available. If you have offered your website URL, we have an SEO eval for you. And we're able to review that with you in the back. So just let us know, and we like to do our homework. Secondly is reveal. This is something we haven't seen in the industry. We really like to do this. It's kind of our bread and butter. Why not reveal the work that's being done? So we like to reveal on a weekly basis all of our engineering, everything that's being completed visually, even on a code level. What are all those tasks taking place? It should be a mystery. It's a science and it's math. Thirdly, we like to report on it, not an automated report, a human-run report. This means that we like to see side by side. We like to be able to really have a good control over the long-term results. We like to see really good month-to-month rankings. And lastly, adapt your marketing. Are you getting up-to-date information? You really should be. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to have the latest information and really be aware of the trends as they develop. And really, it's the responsibility of the marketing company to really, we see these trends before they happen. The writing's on the wall, but really, we've already accommodated for most of these trends before they happen. So for example, Google Places. We're very aware that the authority of a website is always important. As a result, all of our clients' accounts did really well, whereas a lot of our competition really did not do so well. I mean, the writing was on the wall. We knew localization is coming. We knew website authority was increasingly becoming important. So we loved it, and it's great. All these updates are really helping give you more of an advantage to show up as an authority on the subject matter. So I really thought that I've helped uncover a lot of the sort of SEO secrets, but really maybe they shouldn't be secrets. And I don't know, if some of these have been tactics that you've employed before. Maybe they should remain a secret. If they include binge drinking, bribing friends to like you, lowballing for old domains, buying up 50 domains does not help your rankings, and vanity blogging about how great you are. So we really like to show off our clients. We really like to show off consistent results. And if the engineering is there, you should be looking at very, very month-to-month consistent results. So thank you so much, and we really want to open up the floor to questions.